Oil is Gambia's leading dealer when it comes to fuel and has made it a duty to satisfy our customers at all costs. Vehicle owners and drivers need not to worry about getting quality and affordable fuel anymore. That is the reason we have our branches spread all over the country for easy access. For good and clean fuel, the only place to go is Oil. Your need for good and durable petrol, gasoline and kerosene has been covered by Oil, so you need not to worry. Walk to any of our branches and get served to satisfaction. With Oil, your satisfaction is our priority. That is why we have branches at your doorstep to make accessibility easy for you. With our professional and friendly staff, we can assure you satisfaction. To get the best fuel for your engines, the only place to go is Oil. With Oil, it's all enjoyment. That is why we are offering you low charges at our stations on the Coastal Road in Banjul. For more information, you can call 770-8080, 322-9070, 714-7273, or 387-1321. Oil, the pride of the nation. Oil is Gambia's leading dealer when it comes to fuel and
take pride in satisfying every customer's financial needs.
Introducing the future of hassle-free and seamless financial transaction. The Una Wallet app, empowering you to effortlessly manage your money anytime, anywhere. With the Una Wallet app, you can now enjoy branchless banking, wallet-to-wallet transfer, wallet-to-cash, and bank cross-border payments, deposit at a bank, and withdraw from any Una branch. Get ready to experience the ultimate banking convenience with the Una Wallet app. With just few taps on your phone, you can effortlessly add funds, withdraw, and send money to your loved ones. The Una Wallet app also provides a detailed history of your transaction, making it easier to track your expenses. So, What are you waiting for? Download the Wallet app today on Play Store or App Store and say goodbye to hustle of traditional banking. Forex Bureau Limited, delivering much more than money.
Hello and welcome to this special program. Today we're here back in our studios with Mayor Talib Bensouda, the leader of Unite Movement for Change. Mayor Bensouda, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fat.
And first, I want to send my bill for that advertisement. I'm sure that I will zoom in the
only official position, spokesman.
My boss,
yeah, my boss.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
First, I want to start on a personal note. I know in a few months you lost your father. How has that been, and how has that inspired, your leadership today as the leader of the Unite Movement?
Well, thank you for that. As you know, I lost my dad at the age of 74. He was a tall figure in my life. Actually, Lutama study economics is inspired by him because Mom, he studied economics. He's an economist. And of course, he made his contribution to the Gambia. He was a permanent secretary at the State House, and he was very influential in my life. He was a good political advisor. He loved politics, but of course, a highly principled man. After coup d'etat, he decided not to work with government anymore. So, like you said, it's been quite impactful. One day, life, is life. Everybody dies. So you look at the good side of it. We remember him, we honor him, we pray for him, and we always think about the good things he has contributed. And all the time, they give advice, they dig advice, and it's quite positive.
And I want to ask, young lessons, what lessons from him will guide your leadership today, of course, and in politics most especially?
Right. The thing about my dad, he always spoke of being very listening, taking one's time. He was very analytical. He's not somebody who's quick to judgment of the environmental. And I think those soft skills is something that resonates with me all the time. He was also an academic. He believed in being dedicated to school and education and learning. He's famously known. So in a grades below, anything below A, he will tell you, man force rek la daan jël suma class. Suma jëlee seconde sax ñëpp dañ dee surprise. Things like that. So continue di jël di am B's and C's su yàggee du ma la yóbbu university dam laa yóbbu si farm bi nga béy. So he always preach excellence. So I always remember those quotes from him. To excel, to keep pushing yourself to the limit. So there's a lot of good things I've learned from him.
So, he was a very private person. I remember when he passed, we could not even get a picture of him. We had to ask the family. What would you think today he will be thinking, especially Tay, Yangi, Achata, a new cause, CC, startup movement, Langa Halad Tay, if he was here, what would have been his message? Is he somebody who likes you to be in politics?
Well, he liked it, but he didn't like it. Okay. So, Mom, it's quite odd. Mom, he liked that I was in politics because he loves politics.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm his son. He's always worried, all the time of their concern, especially, with so many things happening around, especially me.
Yeah.
They always call, they wonder what's next, what are you guys planning? So he was quite concerned. Wow. So I think when he looks at me now, I think he'll be very proud because I have weathered, all these storms that have come to me, and I think he'll be proud that he's raised me right in the sense that I can absorb a lot of tension, a lot of drama, and still maintain my focus. But I know he's looking down, smiling, and enjoying my journey. So he was there almost every Sunday. I was with him, so he was always talking to me, giving me advice. Dima bayalo hell, man, I'm not even thinking about it. But one thing he wanted me to be is always calm and steady.
Okay.
Buma jump to conclusions. Let me not be anxious, and always take my time and analyze situations before I make a decision.
Interesting. Now, you recently appeared before the Local Government Commission.
Yes.
We have spoken about the commission, I think, over 10 times every time we had a conversation. Finally, you appeared before the commission.
Right.
What would you say, if you reflect back, what were some of the experiences that, appearing in that commission?
This commission, I think, was, everybody would agree, was designed for me. And Nadelos and Heli, many people think, oh, why would you say that? Because we cover all councils. Well, let's rewind back to 2021.
Yeah.
I'm on the commission, Bugai Jikonatek, which was a ministerial commission of inquiry for KMC.
Yes.
And that was specifically targeted towards me. I made a scuffle, I made a problem with the Ministry of Local Government. But then we took them to High Court. We basically won that case. Then guy the new gapa at the interim management committee, which is by law 3 months below the election, president Binafa Guinea Council be any appointed members to oversee the council. You preempt them, you yobul to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court be dissolve the interim management committee. And then they hope that the new door say election be, you door len say election be. Then the presidential commission of inquiry came for all councils. So I think to Gambians, everybody knew it was a witch hunt, and it was especially targeted towards me. And I think everybody agrees. There was a lot of castles built in the sky.
Yeah.
There was a lot of big allegations, big rumors, just to tarnish my image and damage my character. And after if you look at all the issues around KMC, is processes, procedures, and these are all administrative. The same administration, the government be appoint. So I think the Commission of Inquiry has proved one thing. In all of Gambia, I am the most scrutinized, one of the most scrutinized politicians ever. But I think in present day, I'm the most scrutinized politician because I've gone through several investigations, several audits, and the Commission of Inquiry was the icing on the cake. And I have come out, and there's no single issue or no single allegation that came to fruition. So all it was, Talib Dafa oversee an administration that was not following process. Well, this is what we've been arguing for the longest time. KMC, Mandemna Local Government Select Committee, have written several letters about reforms needed to decentralize power and give mayors an executive role. So you join those powers. If there's an administrative issue, I can take ownership. But I cannot take ownership on an administrative issue for people I did not appoint and cannot fire. Wow. So I think, if anything, we've been vindicated by this Commission of Inquiry.
Actually, I've seen several times Commissioner Bisibopam be referenced. We are not just here to investigate, but to learn from you guys.
Right.
And sometimes, you have also shown documentations. You have some of the things they're looking at and raising and up to even court levels.
Absolutely.
But do you think, looking at it all, saying that it was designed for you, do you think the commission will be fair to you after everything? What do you think?
Well, look, man, the way I've approached government, the way I've approached local government and my work at council is one, you always have to be prepared.
Yeah.
We always have a strategy. I have a political strategy. Of course, I have a media strategy, and I have a legal strategy. So whatever the case is, we are prepared for any scenarios. So that's how I've dealt with all my confrontations with government from time, and there's no single incident, in my opinion, that we did not overcome. And this is just another incident, just like that. Whatever they come up with, we know we've done nothing wrong in KMC. In fact, we've performed better than most councils in the history of Gambia. In my opinion, all councils in the history of Gambia. And we've set the benchmark for local government. Today, Sohole KMC, we've set a pace that every council is copying. And I think we have created big shoes that future councils will struggle to fill. Or at least we'll know that this is a serious platform as mayor. So we're not worried about what the commission will say or what government will do, because we're ready. We're ready for any eventuality and any scenario.
And one thing that keeps coming up more, this 3 million euro, because honestly I watched the entire proceeding and I think Babukar Sise, one of the guys on Facebook, keeps saying day 1 0 million, day 2 0 million, day 3 0 million. Right. Actually, we can all attest that during the proceedings we haven't had an incident where like millions were said to be missing or paid into anybody's account or stuff like that. We haven't seen that. And then obviously there was this 3 million euro grant that came from the EU. And you explained it. But it seems like up to today, there have been a lot of misconceptions. Can you tell us what really happened with that 3 million? What happened?
There's no misconception. I think it's just a failed propaganda attempt. No funny man, they come up with real stuff. They just create stuff and try to push it and hope many people buy it. What happened when the lead council asked me, when did you guys receive this grant? Manoko, I can't remember whether it was 2020 or 2021. So guy pick up low, I won't remember such a 3 million euro. And then now the NPP guys, they just took it and just started spreading that false rumor, hoping that it would stick. So it's a foolish allegation. There's no issue with any 3 million euro. This is the library project. The 7 parks bill nañ ko ñep ñu ko use. 10,000 bins buñ joxe ñep gis nañ ko. Radio station buñ ubi ñep gis nañ ko. 190,000 trees that we've planted ñep gis nañ ko. So there are 3 components left, which is a way bridge at the Bakote Dome side, 2 waste enclosures, one in Talinding and the other in Ibo Town, and a solar panel for the library, which is the 3rd phase, and that would close the project. So we just find it amusing. They have nothing to say of KMC over 7 years. Mayor, there's no single corruption allegation they can say other than to create false rumors and hope that it will stick. And 3 million euro, remember, is EU money. If there was anything wrong with that, do Gambia government do propaganda people on social media, it will be the European Union, because that's their money. So that's the clarification.
And one thing I wanted to bring here is 7 years into office, one of the most, let's say today in today's politics, one of the most scrutinized public officers. And there hasn't been any single incident where we can say you were implicated directly or even people close to you in any malpractice, financial malpractice. How did you and how were you able to do that? In 7 years, this is Gambia. How were you able to do that?
There was a book published by Madi Sise about my biography. And I was just reading one chapter. And in that chapter, I said, he's been writing this for about 2 years or so. One day, it's so profound when I read it. I said, I think to be a good public officer, you must have some financial independence. The office should not need you. Sorry, you should not need the office. The office should need you. Wow. So I think that's largely it. When I came into office, I had a car more expensive than the mayor's car at the time. I used my personal car for about 6 months. Bala Council be General Mamoto. Your General Mamoto, it was a super expensive car. It was a $5 million in Nissan Patrol. I went home with it one day, small conscience, because we've said we want to do so much. And then new general sabo for $5 million car. So I had it returned and I opted for a $2.4 million car. Then small essence we don't allocate was $11,250 per week. That's what I found there. That was the allocated amount for the mayor, $11,250 per week. Magisne, the CEO and other directors were not very far behind. And it's excessive. Them with $11,250 in 1 week. So I cut mine to 5,000.
Wow.
Meaning now the CEO and everybody else has to come under me because I am the highest officer.
Yeah.
So only that difference of 6,250, that would cumulate to 300,000 extra.
Wow.
That I could have cashed.
Just for you?
Yeah, I could have cashed and put in my pocket and that do again.
Yeah.
Because that is what the mayor was allocated. So 300,000 per year over that 7-year period is millions. So as we speak, our motor.
Official car?
Our official car.
Wow.
So as we speak, what had happened was, soon director of service, who are more responsible for sanitation, Amun Moto. So I told them, look, we cannot buy a car next year. We have serious obligations as a council. So Mansma Moto, Buma Jenon at 2.4 million, which I used for 7 years. I'm ko jox deputy mayor bi. Deputy mayor moto bu wara am mu jox ko kenen. Koku moto bu wara am mu jox ko director of services.
Wow.
So like I said, it's because I don't need the facilities of the office. I have truly come to serve. KMC over the past 7 years has revenues in the billions. You know, that's why I find it hilarious when people say, oh, Mayo, si party bi. I said, small amount interest, I think I'd be having interest in billions, not thousands or millions. So after 7 years, you cannot point to anything I have done with those billions. This is why I said, you have to come into the office because you want to do the right thing, and that is to impact people's lives. And truly, that's what I have come to do.
Wow. Wow, interesting. Now, KMC has been selected as one of the only 6 cities worldwide to receive 450,000, approximately 33 million from the Mayor's Migration Council under the Cities Global Fund Refugee Program.
Right.
A lot of young people have been excited about this.
Yes, super excited.
It was crazy.
Right.
How did this project come about, and who are the beneficiaries, and are we looking at having this every year? Because definitely they will need this kind of support to empower them.
So I've been taken aback by the level of excitement. In KMC, every day, they have 100 plus youths. And sometimes they know by my office, and I am forced to see them to explain, because there's so much excitement around this thing. One day, I think the fact that they are coming, and a lot of them, so you here, man, I see how much they're struggling and how much problems they have. Sakatuma return easy. I now know, it's validated that this was the right thing to do. The MMC is a council I'm a member of. Yaganachi Boka, about 3 or 4 years. We meet in New York every year in the side events of the UNGA, United Nations General Assembly. And 2022, I had an opportunity to apply for this grant. And I succeeded. It was, at the time, it was $200,000.
Okay.
So Bobo, I was trying to replace donkey carts with tricycles.
Okay.
And using an opportunity for youths in my municipality to have tricycle businesses as opposed to donkey carts, which is a nuisance. Wow. So what had happened was they had canceled the program because they asked me one question. How far is your election? Manel, in 4 months. One of the prerequisites of this grant is you must be 1 year away from elections. So that's why I had lost it. So it was a bitter experience, but I never gave up. Even the EU grant, the first time we applied, we didn't get it.
Okay.
I applied again and we got it. So I applied, I have to get this grant.
Yeah.
So I was very pushy about it. So luckily, there was an opening for double the amount, which is $500,000. One day, it was just for training of youths.
Yeah.
What's the point of training a backway returnee? Kunga hamne mingi vulnerable amud halis. Mingi probably am trauma. Kukusoko training a bako, he couldn't do anything. You must provide some seed capital.
Yeah.
So I argued for seed capital. So they can only then accommodate 40 youths. Then the rest would be spent on training those youths.
Yeah.
And now what we are putting in place is sustainable mechanisms. After 2 years, meaning the first year 20 youths, second year 20 youths, we want to commit KMC. I would not be there, but we are committing the institution.
Yeah.
Now, every year, because the office has been set up, the office of migrants will be set up, and the training program will be there. All KMC now has to do is to commit to $4.5 million every year post 2027 for 20 youths at least at the minimum to be given this opportunity for the foreseeable future. So that's the commitment we are making for the institution. However, Manduma Faneka in 2027, 2028.
Yeah.
So we are hoping that the new council at the time will maintain that commitment, because this is a very good thing.
This is a good thing.
A lot of them are traumatized. They have PTSD.
Yeah.
Torture in North Africa. They've watched their friends die at the high seas. Almost 1,250 died last year. About 1,006 plus were deported as well. So they have trauma, and they need to be taken care of. Yeah. Wow. And then you are a bias in Helsinki. Wow. So I hope the future councils will continue this program.
Monitoring for something like this kind of project. This means Lubari grants today New Joko young people na join need $1,000 or 10,000, 100,000. While one local nakala manage that money, right. And then you're not monitoring them, you're not giving them skills, you're training. Right. Well, what mechanisms are you guys putting in place? Because if one person succeeds, create more employment. That is why this is huge, because 40 people, multiply that to how many people they're going to benefit from their family levels to people that they will also incorporate in their businesses. What monitoring mechanisms are you putting in place to make sure programming will work effectively, that way the communities can benefit from it as well?
Right, so two things. The monitoring is very key. That's why it's an incubation program, meaning we're going to take care of them and guide them. One thing that when the youths come into my office, and I tell them, 200,000, the first thing you're going to do is to go back way. And they don't deny it. So this is a filtering process. And so the people chosen are actually committed to this program. Secondly, to incubate them and guide them and nurture them. So the failure rate is low, because business, you're a businesswoman. The failure rate is very high. So the incubation program ensures they have the prerequisite skills, also ensure they have the guidance and support system to be able to grow these businesses and employ more youths. Secondly, also, we know a lot of them have trauma. So the time you know how do we have counseling, for mental health, because a lot of them have a trauma. So you can see it in their eyes. They've been through a lot. And a lot of them have physical injuries. So a lot of them have quite bad experiences. So how do we look at the other side of it? Some counseling and some mental health support.
All right, now let's talk about the book that Madi Cisse wrote about you, titled Talib Bensouda, A Man of Vision. Right. How does it feel for a whole book to be written about you? Written by Honorable Madi. I must say, Madi is a very good author, and I started reading through some of the things. I saw the part Talib, the president, if Talib was president today, and he spoke a lot about you, and but let's talk about the book itself. Well, how does it feel to have a publication on you and
I want to thank Madi, Honorable Madi Cisse. He chose me out of many possible choices, and the fact that my Tana is a big, of course, honor to me. His book also, I read it. It brought a lot of smiles to my face. Because I had forgotten that we had spoke about some of these experiences. And I think telling somebody about your experiences and reading it is two different things, right? So also there's a lot of profound chapters which I see playing out now. Basically it's talking about the past, but I can see it playing out. Like there was one section, Talib's thick skin.
Yes, I saw that.
I enjoyed that section a lot because it's so true, because that's actually my character, right? So I feel quite honored, and I want to thank Madi and his team, Mariama, who suffered so much to make sure I was free to talk about my life. But it's a huge deal for me, it's a big thing for me, absolutely.
The book portrays you as a leader driven by vision and innovation. Looking ahead, what key initiatives and goals best represent that vision for the future of the municipality and Gambia as a whole, if possible?
Right. So I always look at where I want to go or where I want something to be, and I start working backwards. I'm strong-willed. I don't give up when I'm committed. I can dig deep and resolve and have that resolve to see things through. So when I'm a builder, I'm a creator. That's what I'm good at. I like starting things from scratch and building it to success. So the municipality, of course, needs a lot. I mean, we've come very, 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 very far, you know, although many people forget how far we've come and where we've started. One of the biggest issues that prevent the municipality of reaching its potential are legislative issues. These are fundamental issues that would have allowed the mayor and its council to be more empowered, to have the executive powers needed to make meaningful and lasting change. But something is we've been advocating for and will continue to advocate for. We've had successes at the Supreme Court. You are aware, Talib Bensouda and 54 others versus Gambia government has made landmark decisions on empowerment and decentralization. You know, so we are going to continue that fight. For the most part, Gambia has a huge potential, and I think it has a natural, strategic capability that we are not harnessing, and one of them is our location. You know, so we have to go back to history. Why was actually Gambia created? Because it was created.
It was created.
It was not a natural, organic development that became a country. It was through colonialism. It was created around the River Gambia. Look at its shape. Look at its size. It was they were ensuring, they were protecting the navigation routes for the interland. You know, so that is one of our strengths. How do we harness the river for upriver trade? How do we ensure that Gambia becomes a hub for trade? You know, so that's one strategic geographical capability the country has. Secondly, we are Anglophone country surrounded by Francophone countries. Now Senegalese are learning how to speak English, and you know they're really positioning themselves. But this was an advantage for a very long time that we missed. Gambia should have been corporate headquarters for a lot of international companies to serve the sub-region. But I think there's still time for that. But to keep it short, I believe Gambia should have been a hub and should be a hub, a service hub for the rest of the sub-region, especially the landlocked countries. And I think that potential is still there if we are strategic about it and move fast.
Now let's talk about your political journey. Let's say your political decisions. You and of course the UDP.
Right.
Now, what informed your decision to withdraw from the flag bearership and subsequently to resign as the National Organizing Secretary of the UDP?
Well, I think the UDP issue has been very difficult and tense, and it's a long time coming. It's not a decision that was made overnight. It's been a long time of tension, infighting, chaos, that I was hoping it wouldn't get to this point. We were basically trying to manage the situation because I love the party. I wanted the party's success and the success for all, from party leader to every supporter, because they deserved it. You know, they deserve to have a government after so many years of trial and tribulation. And I am a member, you know, at the time. But, you know, my position in the party became untenable. You know, so it got to a point where relationships were damaged. The tension was too high. We've heard fellow colleagues go on radio and, you know, basically castigate me and my followers. And we got to a point where I said to myself, either I'm going to lead and try to change what I feel that is wrong, to evolve the party to a modern party, to what I feel should be the direction, or I would sever ties and allow the party to continue honorably. And I think that's what I've done. Leading to that, of course, there's a lot of conversations that have happened between me and some elders, including Dabo, behind closed doors, which I don't want to disclose at this point in time. But a lot of things have informed my decision as to that I should leave the United Democratic Party. Also, when you ask why did I withdraw?
Yeah, why did you withdraw?
That was, the withdrawal was informed largely because during the process leading to the selection of the flag bearer, I was informed. Dabo had sent people to me several times that I should say that if he contests, I will not challenge him. And the reasoning behind it was to manage the party, to ensure that people are not fighting, because they felt that a lot of people were looking at me and man dama buga jite UDP, so ñom dañ ma fight.
No, let's get back to that, because I think that's the warhead. Because you said that if Dabo, I remember it was in Pamodu's interview, and also Africa, if Dabo ran, you were not, if Momsuta Hawe as candidate for the party, they'll hit you more. Yes, what are you saying? Why did that? Why did you say that?
So let me clarify that. I think I was trying to answer too much in a short question. So in that actual episode, leading up to the selection of flag bearer, because like I said, this fight or tension for succession has been going on since 2022.
Yes.
It's a long fight. It's an open secret. People pretend they start. It's been a long process. And then again, audio in 2023 and 2024. Man suma bu wana start suma party ken duma stop man suma gisee ne duma bokkaat UDP dama génn UDP and duma ko nuba ken and I said it very clearly because man am the type bu nga xamne suma conviction la de topa and you bay dañ dé fogg ne hina luma noppé ñëmé ñuma. I have respect, I have discipline. One day I don't think anybody is more brave than me and ragaluma nit waaw man su dama gom luma topa ma def ko. One day I have faith, I have strong conviction. So I made it very clear. If the time came, I felt I would leave UDP, I would leave UDP. If the time came, I felt I'll start my own party, I'll start my own party. One day coming to your question directly, leading up to these events, there were certain characters who went on different radio stations. And they said, the mayor of Banjul said he will not challenge Pabi and he's not interested in flag bearer. The mayor of Berkama said he will not challenge Pabi, he's not interested in flag bearer. The mayor of Mansakonko said it, but only one mayor refuses to say it.
That was you.
And that's me. And that's the problem of UDP. They said it on a platform. They repeated it on a platform. Then the Pabi sent individuals to me to say, Talib, just say this statement. Hey, be stop. So at first I was reluctant. They came again. I told that person, are you sure I should say this? He said, Billah, he's just trying to manage the party because fight be for bari.
Fight be for bari sakau.
Fight be for bari generally between my followers and supporters. And may cause disharmony in party and is making the party unmanageable. So the third time when they came, I said, okay, fine. So for manage party because I had no reason to doubt because at that time I firmly believe in a party to town. Then I went to Kuntawur. It was not at Pamodu.
Kuntawur.
I went to Kuntawur, Dinkulio.
Yes.
My Dinkulio at Kuntawur. That is where I made the declaration in the belief ne mange maintain harmony within the party. But guess what? Right after I was done with that declaration, on a Sunday, one of the senior officers of the party went on radio again to castigate me. And that time, I called Pabi. But you also low kunta war. So fake one me can satisfy with Silulu. Then you daradulen satisfy. Because you've said everything. Because he was quite satisfied with my statement at Kunta war. But it was all in the spirit to maintain the party. Now, application Ubi, I checked, not once, not twice, because application we can apply and send our application to Manjai Bureau, or we can give it to Alaji S. Dabo, or we can give it to the national president. So I checked all three, because Mandama withholds my application before I put it in. I had an intention to apply. So Mahar bin Mulli, and I had checked with all three, you can apply it. So I put in my application. But guess what? After it was declared, 2 hours later, the information came, okay, Pavit, I'm applying. But even from sources, ñu ko wax sax. And these are clear sources who always didn't like me or looked at me as a rival or the illegitimate leader or, you know, applicant. ñoom ñoo génnee wax bi ne paa bi apply na since 26th. And I was like, so feke apply na depuis 26th. How come none of these official, you know, recipients received the application? So anyway, what we done na that is all in the past. You know, man, I'm not really crazy over what happened in the past. All I'm saying is more nekane. I want people to understand these were the events that led to that. So buma apply, I said I'll wait it out. Mahol be the last minutes, and if I see him, he's still, you know, quite serious about the application, I will go see him and stick to my word.
Okay.
Because yeah. I will still stick to my word. Mitina, laikumako, wante nako def. So I went to him and I informed him that, look, are you still continuing with your application? And he said yes. You know, it's not a fast. I'm going to stick to my application. And I go, okay. Monday luma genalon moy nga baye ma man ma apply ma try ma win pour nek a flag bearer, because all I want to do is to secure a legacy. And I'm 100% confident that if I am allowed to go ahead, I will defeat Adama Barrow. And he said, well, Montamit, you know, he feels that he can secure his legacy, etc. So without saying much further, I go, okay, in that case, I will withdraw my application because I will stick to my word. But secondly, man munu maneka sa organizing sector. Because I think out of principle, if I seek the same position that you are looking for, I cannot serve as the campaigner who should put you in the State House. He didn't like it, but he accepted it. So Silan Pathways, Madefsma announcement. So that is basically what has happened. But Fatou, what I want people to understand is, for me, I have no issues with the UDP. We had a good relationship. I still have great friends there, better than they were. And I have nothing but, you know, good feelings for them, and I wish them the best of luck. But I want to right now, suma support they are now in the UNC, and I tell them every time, and they're listening. You buy the defante UDP. What we want is to bring meaningful change to our country.
I want to come there, and I'll come there, but I want to take you back a little.
Right.
You were of the belief that power will run. Forgely that belief, one indication nga ham before ne power will run, because yes, probably first time to go interview if they want to run. No, astagfirullah, if they want to, so time jote didn't make the decision. But a few months back, Balas and flag bearer Libby, Pabi wanted the run. So obviously he had made it public. But you said you were of the belief that Pabi do run. Why
well, look, like I said, man, I don't want to sit and talk about Pabi. I respect him. He's an elderly person. He's somebody I love and respect dearly. And at the end of the day, what has happened has happened. There's many things that have happened behind the scenes that I don't wish to discuss, especially at this point in time. United Movement for Change. So basically, what I will say is that was the strong conviction and belief I had at the time, and of course, I know why I believed it. But it's not something that I wish to discuss.
But a lot of the thing is, there have been a lot of allegations, you know, and this is something we have because Abarki de Lamin Mane, definitely interview and I guess now Ibrahim mu gain audio. DP 2021, you guys, the National Organizing Committee and the campaign team, you know what I sell the agenda of the party, you know what I jai party. But you guys have been accused of undermining the party from 2021. More than you lose election. And even after that, you continued, instead of selling the party, same team they were positioning to just to promote Talib. And then they, you guys knew, con that betrayer stick, bigadi was see it. Well,
like I said, these are old rivalries in the party. In betraying Ken, and I laugh at the word betrayer. Betrayed you for what? For who? So they are betraying it. Dafa am lo si am or si koy dem. Su fekkee dañ bàyyi parti bi dem si ruling government ku ñu wax ne betray nañ la waaw salaam. Su fekkee dañu bàyyi parti bi ngir dañoo dem uti alal dafa am ku ñu fay waaw because of suñ own personal interest si lañ bàyyi parti bi wante what has happened is a divorce la waaw demuñ si keneen joxuñu dara
a nasty divorce
is a divorce dafa nasty I guess so ku nekka da nga def mudslinging and I'm very disappointed in behavior of certain members of the UDP saagay hastey faate jaar-jaar yu am démba ak taranga buñ seedoo démba because we've done a lot for the party has done a lot for us and we have people who are almost like our brothers and sisters in that party so dëggala jeex na neexut kenn division bi ni mel naxari nañu bari but I don't think certain words should have come out of certain people wante like I said politics la we take it in good faith at the end of the day democracy la ku ne nit nga wax lu la neex wante like I said what has happened moo nekk there were rivalries in the party since 2021 during that Pabi's election
since 2021
even during that election we had done everything humanly possible to my ability the financial resources la the human resources la the katan la I had given myself pour Pabi mu win and Pabi su winoon would have been the greatest day of my life moo tax that Congress 2020 I took it upon myself ma dem si Pabi and Pabi supported me ma ne leen ne I want this Congress to come back to KMC because dama fiiloon ne suñ ko yóbboo Janjanbureh it will not have the momentum and the firepower the party needed to propel Pabi to victory and they all bought my idea ñu jox ma cër bi I went around looking for donations from man my own family we donated $3 million towards that Congress then I raised 7.3 from others that Congress was powerful and was historic unprecedented event pen bu ñoo bindee sa is branded mask tani COVID bu ñoo sol sa is branded an unprecedented political event which I believe has changed politics in the Gambia depuis booba si nga door di gis these big events in politics then I went back to the family ma ne leen nañ dajale because we don't have mobility nañ jëlal party bi motorbikes I sourced 43 motorbikes in China one container I sourced in China 20-foot container because half la 43 ñu def ko part assembly foofu ñu indi ko in boxes UDP branded boxes ñu wàcce ko këri suku singaate then I sourced for 3 brand new vehicles from China and 2 second hands locally Mitsubishi all Joshua lañ ko jëne benn bi still at KM region so 3 brand new so mu nekk 5 vehicles and 43 motorbikes wante bu ma koy jox paa bi ma ne ko I want this to be anonymous because politics dafa sew yow yaay ut presidency soo ko amee ñun ñëpp am nañ tranga ñun ñëpp am nañ jaama ba pare yow soo ko amee xam nga lu ma defal parti bi that's enough for me so bul wax kenn ne it came from Talib Bensouda or from the Bensoudas because loolu su amee ëllëg nit ñi mun nañ toog di la accuse nii di la accuse na le an loolu jaru ko so dafa taxaw si executive meeting mu ne ku ma jox bagage yi dafa bëgg anonymous wante bés su ñëwee su fekkoon ne wax naa ne lii laa ko def o lale la moo am bu kenn wax dara something towards that line ñu am na ñu ko fekkee and I just kept quiet man sax I was not interested because my politics is not transactional I did it because I genuinely wanted the party to win then throughout that year big political events Sukuta Dembadu mooy Lahido rally 100% finance from my side Brufur rally it was a partnership with Alaji Conte stadium bu ñoo def that big the biggest nomination in history I pulled over 1 point something million pour teg ko si party funds yi pour event bi mu successful so I went over and beyond and committed so many people committed so many resources so much of my time pour make sure ne parti bi win so ku taxaw tey di wax ne ñi dañu bëggoon pa bi lose ak yooyu moo tax ma ne nañ joxante cër ñu respectante man doo dégg may toog di tuutil kenn contribution am or di dismiss kenn contribution am because man lu ma doon def dam ko def ngir yàlla ak ngir pa bi ak ngir parti bi and dam ko def si xol bu set musuma toog any public forum man nettali lu ma wax ni this is the first time wante wax su mo sori disrespect bi di bari. I think I owe it to the public to come out and say lii ak lii lañ defal parti bi fii ak fii lañ jaar wante tey taago nañ ba pare we wish them the best of luck.
I mean, you have said a lot of things because Pabi was like a father to you, and you better than from
he still is,
and he still is. Yeah, I know that, but you better than you. Pabi, you again, Najil, develop favorite out of all the mayors at chairman. Do you think Lulu Tahona the heavy Baron Saka? Because I mean, I wouldn't know, but I know there were a lot of tensions. Obviously, just like you said earlier, so colleagues, you have made different interviews and said things about you. And when those things happen, how did you guys handle it? How did those things go? Obviously, tensions were there.
Of course, there's been tensions. There's been undercurrents. Pabi mom, like I said, even when I was leaving, I told him that you will always be a father figure to me. But outside of politics, luma la mundi defal si digante father ak dom na la ko defal. Politically, my situation is untenable. I cannot continue. And that respect will always be between
us. But why is it so untenable? Because, okay, Pabi muna apply, you know, only nga buy, why luta, ben jar nga muna buy party.
So, Lola, these tensions in the party have reached fever pitch. It was impossible. You were there, you know. These are colleagues you know on radio, fights you don't have see underground. The campaign and organizing committee, to do everything to propel the party, promote the party. We were being seen as, trying to sell Talib Bensouda, etc. But like I said, there's things that happen also behind the scene that I don't wish to discuss at this point in time. When the Luma it had come to a point where I'm the new one, man suñ matane ñom lañu bay parti.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not pretend. I think there's a lot of pretending happening in politics.
Yeah.
Wow. There's people who've come out and said, man suñ matane dañu bay parti. And there are people who started negotiating with other parties, preparing in case man ñu tanama di setan how man ak pa bi suñu relationship will end. Lumalawa are facts. There are people who had already started planning and preparing with other parties ne man suñ matane ñom dañoo génne UDP. And today some of them stand and say they are so committed to the party, ñi ñoo jam fa parti bi, ñi so anyway, politics mom bari na naxaate. Wante man I have always said duma xool boti nit ragaluma kenn. If I feel the UDP is no longer right for me, I will leave. You've heard the audio. And that audio is quite repeated a lot of the time. Lolu mo xew. It's something that I did not wish, but I'm realistic. At a new point when I saw that this is untenable, this relationship can no longer continue, I walked away honorably. Manyana len jama ak teranga. And one mistake many people make, they think ne man ma wax nit ñi ñu bay UDP. Man musuma wét ak nit ba mané ko bay UDP. Smoke councillors, when I was leaving, I called them to an office, to my office. And you can call any of them. You buy ak ñu bayut. Man, I have made a personal decision to leave. Kuma topa is your own will. When the man force ma ken mu topa ma, be convince ma ken mu topa ma. Because end of the day, you are all elected in your wards. And ku nek ak sa bamel. This is a personal decision for me. If you are deciding it's a personal decision for you. So some said yes, ñom tam ñu affaire bi parti bi démé neexut len, they left. Others say no, this is party la dañoo tok. And our relationship with all of them is still the same. So man, I have no intention for one UDP, for causal UDP any embarrassment or any damage. It was a personal decision for me, and I frankly, truly wish them the best of luck. And you should fight Benala in opposition line come. I have left an established party to go and start something from scratch. Lolu takes courage. It's difficult.
It's difficult.
To start that from scratch. UDP is an established party of 30 years. So man luma def, I believe, is courageous. Because goma to mafi, man ligi munna create what I believe 100% man li la gom, and that's what I'm doing.
I still want to push back on something.
Oh, sure.
And I want to push you back somewhere. I don't know whether were there meetings where you guys had meetings, young men, and to discuss succession plan in UDP?
So there have been discussions. Like I said, I don't want to discuss about party leader, but there have been discussions among the young leaders
Young leaders.
Wow, among the
elected
leaders,
ones, right?
The elected young leaders. Look, we want to win in 2026. And let me tell you, amongst all the young leaders, most of the young leaders, none of them believe the party leader can win in 2026.
All of them?
1,000 people will come out and say, let me tell you the fact. That is the fact.
Okay.
So we admit, that is their assessment. No, we disrespecting party leader. We just want to win as a party. We win with tarangam la.
Yeah.
Because mom moy leader bi, mom moy the person we revere, mom moy suñu papa ñun ñep. So we had a frank meeting about how can we come together, ñu unite, because I think at some point ñep recognize nañ ne nu mbir bi di démé division is imminent.
Yeah.
So it was a meeting to reconcile, but the idea was suñu reconciliation dafa wara birth a collaboration and a succession bu nga xamné ñun ñep nañ ci gis suñu bopa pour ñu né party leader that Jerry you've tried everything. Now we want you to watch us do the work for you. That was the essence of that meeting. Wow, one day, as clearly it did not succeed. But one thing is for sure, majority of people at that time, I don't know now, maybe now people have changed or ideas have changed, but at that time people believed the party needed new blood to win 2026 elections.
And what was the outcome of that meeting?
Well, the meeting, I'm on action points, but they were never followed. I'm on good positive energy, but right after there was, a lot of noise that came from other camps, etc. And so by example, even the last meeting where, the mayor of Birkama came and attacked me directly, I was so upset because I felt all of these things we were trying to resolve it. Mota Magina, Bumagini, Madaf that post, I'm reaching my limits. Yeah. The end is near. The end is near, yeah. But Pabi called me, and out of respect for him, I said, you're right, let me just calm down, etc. Mota Manila, this division was going to happen anyway because things have reached a level bunga hamne. There was no discussions being had between Nini Pudafle and Bena. But it's a journey that has taught me a lot. It has taught me a lot about people. It has taught me a lot about politics. It also has reminded me, so you say man madugo politics, rew bata. Duguma politics pour topa bena nit. Duguma politics pour topa party. Dama dugo politics pour defar suma rew ak liggéey suma rew. Party platform la of beliefs, concepts, values that one can subscribe to. Ngane man platform bi la belief mo muna change rew mi. Political leaders are people that you respect and you revere out of principle, but you should never worship. So I believe I am at a point in time now, I will gather like-minded Gambians who believe in politics in Gambia, if I want to change. Because one thing we see, Fatou, and that's very terrible, and sorry for my language, quite disgusting. Now in the politics of Gambia, people are no longer talking about issues. Yep hasantela, sagantela, caricature wante. There's no discourse about how do we solve Gambia's problems. How do we attack issues that are hurting market women at the hospital, youths who are returnees. What are the defar deka amatut? Yep yefi sagante la hasante. And you wonder, if these political platforms make it to State House, what would be their agenda if you spend all the time attacking each other? So Unite, what we are trying to do now is to create a new type of politics based on integrity, transformation, equality. Integrity, more in pride, being proud of being a politician. The what dega, the definitely hamne more yon. The dignity in the field of politics, because we feel that there's not much dignity there anymore. Transformation is we feel that there's a lot of repeated systems going on in politics that is not really taking the country nowhere. Political parties are largely structured the same. The way they practice politics is the same. So when we govern, it would be the same systems being used. So we want to be bold, innovative, dynamic in how we bring political messages to the masses. Last is equality. And I have always tried to rebrand the politics, especially of UDP, is to try to move away from politics. People identify you as belonging to a tribe or belonging to a region, trying to segregate Gambians. You know, I think I've had many successes in UDP, and I think, frankly, there's been a conscious effort within them to try to change this. But all parties have this problem, not just UDP, where they're being identified by a certain tribe. So, in the building blocks of Unite, we are trying to make that from the beginning, lead to make an issue. Wow. So, we are really trying to attack the politics of Gambia in a positive way by changing it into something that can have meaningful impact if ever we make it into government, and we will, inshallah.
Inshallah. Bahna. Unite. But before we go to Unite, Papa, you keep saying we be a member. And there's a lot of Sister Lolo no. UDP, Yegmen resigned as the National Organizing Secretary. But we never saw where you said you resigned as a member of the United Democratic Party. You're an official elected official of the party. Why didn't you make your resignation public?
So I think there's a confusion. Some people believe they should resign as a member of the party.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of language. And I think you resign from a position because you're appointed to a position. I believe you leave a party because you join a party. I have left the UDP. And I think every single member knows that in their heart. One day, these are just political attacks trying to use terms, etc. Man, dama join UDP. I have left UDP. I was appointed as an organizing secretary via a congress. I resigned as an organizing secretary. So I think it's just a matter of terminology, etc. But I have left the UDP. There's no ambiguity about that.
The resignation letter won't be wrong.
No, you don't resign as a member of the party because I was not appointed as a member of the party. I joined the party willfully and I left willfully.
There are people who have also called for your resignation as a mayor. You were elected on the ticket. So all sabopo bubaha Gungane KMC sa base. Why don't you resign by election? Luther resign. That has been calls that have been made because you were elected under the party ticket.
Well, I was elected under the party ticket, but through a coalition. GDC openly coalition with me. GAP openly coalition with me. GFA openly coalition with me. NUP openly coalition with me. And I believe if I didn't have those coalitions, I would not have won. And that's why I went for those coalitions. It was a strategic decision. But nevertheless, I think these are just arguments for the real conversation. Number two, I'm not looking to be mayor again. Mota manela doylu dafa ba man buma neka mayor dama doylu salary mayor titalut ma there's nothing material that mayor can give me because I'm satisfied without being mayor. Man buma dem the election, I announced that this is my second and final term. So in essence, next year is my final year of being a mayor. So man suma resign on as mayor, why would I contest in a by-election for mayor? I'm not interested to be a mayor again. What I'm interested in is to finish the job, seal my legacy, and ensure that we inherit KMC, if I inherit KMC in good shape, whatever party it would be. And I'm quite sure by 2027, the United Movement for Change will take over KMC. Absolutely.
Now, shortly, being obviously announced the formation of the Unite Movement. Was this something planned or is it in response to developments in UDP? Because how did that just come about quickly like that?
So I think people are amazed by the speed. They're amazed by the organizational capacity and structure. One day, this is the team we have. We never sat. The Unite name, for now, it was 2 weeks after I left UDP, where we were trying to narrow down a name.
Yeah.
What a confusion am start bisa.
Yeah.
Some of our members were even saying United Movement for Change, because they did not get that the word and the movement is called Unite.
Yeah.
UNITE. Just like PDOIS.
Okay.
DOI. And then we can do walk around, they were PDOIS, it's too long. So Unite means United for Integrity, Transformation, and Equality. So in the short form and easy to say is unite. So the movement for change is called Unite. United for Integrity, Transformation, and Equality. So that is the name of the movement. But there was a lot of struggle from our members because building from scratch, like I said, is difficult. Well, today we are educating some of the people who have joined as to what is the Unite movement, because some of them they feel united. You know, at first there was this issue, UFC.
Yeah.
You know, UMC.
Yeah.
You unite. We're guiding you to. Yeah. So if we had pre-planned it, we would have quite been sure. But these are the natural challenges you have when you're building from scratch. So nobody preempted it. Nobody prepared this. It happened organically. And it happened through meetings and discussions. And okay, now we want to change politics. How are we going to do it? What names are we going to use? What do we want to change in Gambian politics? Some even said, "Nice start party," you know, but others said, "No, let's build something fluid, something that people can easily join, 3 basic ideas that NIP can subscribe to, and at any point in time we feel I'm in critical mass or we are ready, we can transform into a political party." But you know, like I said, most of us are young, but it's not that we are against all people. We want everybody to join. But we want to build a platform that is formidable and far sustainable and far yaga in Gambian politics. And one thing I tell everybody, please, don't say go join Talib Bensouda. No. It's not my party. I did not start it. I am a member just like everybody else.
Were you the leader?
I'm not even the leader. I'm the initiator.
Okay.
Right. So the leader.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of it's implied.
Because I see a lot of that.
Yeah, I know. For Gambian politics, you know, it's, people want a symbol. So I am the initiator, but I am not yet selected as a leader. We have to go through a process for that to happen. But what we really want to do is to change personality politics. So bugu design it. Then bugu design concept. Because anything we are mortal. But an idea lives for the rest of time. And when you see formidable parties around the world, they have hundreds of leaders, hundreds of party leaders, hundreds of candidates, hundreds of prime ministers over the years, because people buy into the concept and the idea and not to any one individual. So in Gambian politics, the big challenge we see, PPP collapsed when Jawara left. APRC diminished in size when Yahya Jammeh left. And you know, now you can tell with the political parties, a lot of them would divide or have serious problems if their leaders leave. And that's not what we want for UMC. We want something that is sustainable.
What gap will UMC seek to fill in Gambia's political space?
So, Gambian politics, majority of people are undecided. Majority of people don't subscribe to any party. I think the swing vote in Gambia is one of the biggest in the world. Secondly, there's a lot of first-time voters. You know, they register in last election, and this election they might not register. And you know, any awakening. Politics is about taking ownership, but based on the right principles. Politics politics is seen just like a dirty sport where individuals with ambition try to be president to have perks and benefits for themselves. So the fact that politics will not change in life doesn't resonate with them. So the UMC is here to bring that change, to make people who are disenfranchised buy into this concept. We can change our country for us and our children to come. And Fatou, man, I've been amazed by the amount of people you knew they join. Man, get me a program man, don't you join a movement if it has ever happened. A lot of people are coming by themselves. You register online, all those tens of thousands of people. Can you register? You just idea the register send bopa. So there's a lot of moving parts happening within the UMC that sometimes takes me by surprise after Lako de Yek. So that buy-in, we are really seeing it with the movement.
In politics, what would you say, loyalty over party or loyalty over country? How would you, what should be the...
Loyalty for country. Without the country, no party exists. Without the country, we cannot even call ourselves Gambians. So I think that's also an education that most people need on a daily basis. So they get join party is because you want to change the country.
Yeah.
If there was no country, there cannot be any party. So we have to be loyal to the country. And we have to love all Gambians, regardless of what party they belong to. Don't muna ki mo ba because mung suma party, kale mo bon nekot suma party. So these are all concepts the UMC is trying to change.
How are you building? You said Yanange starts from scratch, and you know what, Talib should wait till 2031 because 2026 dafa jege, because people are amul time. What kind of grassroots mobilization are you doing to make sure every single Gambian send message mujotko?
Well, you know, people who say that don't go me because we are forming UMC to contest for presidency because Talib dafa buga neka president.
Wow.
And that's not it. We are building UMC for the future.
Okay.
Whether election be nyona, rombana, amunsidara, that's not the point. The point is we're building a party for the future. Party bunga hamne dafa change Gambian politics. But we believe that we have time. And we believe that we will contest this 2026. And we believe that we will win. Because we are working with strategy. We are working with data. Strategize. We are looking at the gaps, the potentials. And we are communicating the right way. One by one. Because the concept of UMC, they've called 10 other people.
Yeah.
So this is organic growth, word of mouth, but we believe time is not an issue. But we're not also worried about election being but you know, at the end of the day, what we want to say, Motor Money, is not about Talib. It's about the country. It's about a movement that will change this country. Because we believe in the history of the Gambia, movements regularly change Gambia. PPP, time Bobulino was a pro-independence movement, anti-colonialism movement. You know, even Jammeh's era, it was a revolution. That's how they termed it. Military coup.
Yeah.
So military coup and the military platform turned into a civilian platform that was anti-elitist.
Yeah, that's true.
2016, no party won.
It was
2016 was a movement to remove an authoritarian government. So Gambia, so by hell, political party in the raw sense, is a movement and a hunger for change, a desire to see something different for the better. And you know your form with the UMC. And what we want is everybody to come on board.
But in all of these scenarios, you know, I'm looking at propel. For example, in 2016, people wanted change because we had a dictatorship and all the stuff. 1965, we wanted independence, right? Obviously. So what lan mo nekatay that kind of idea because we have a democratic government. Yes, there are a lot of shortfalls in governance and other issues, but lan nga fokne mo warata nini fokne we seriously need change. Lan mo nekadi.
So every movement is starts because there's a crisis at hand. The 1965 was an independence and identity crisis. We wanted an identity of our own. We wanted our independence, the right for self-determination. So crisis bobu mota okay, we are going to join this movement and change this country. People's Protectorate Party, PPP, etc.
Yeah.
Then also in after Jawara's 30-year rule in 1994, it was a military takeover, which I mean you couldn't call a movement, but it was a revolution in the eyes of soldiers.
So, yeah.
In their hearts, they felt it was a genuine revolution.
Yeah.
Then you change civilian government, but they formed the movement to bring about, to empower the vulnerable and the poor who were left behind. So the family class warfare. 2016 was a pro-democracy movement.
Yeah.
There was a crisis. People were living in fear. There was authoritarianism, etc. Now we have another crisis. It's a cost of living crisis. Wow. Where we have high levels of unemployment, where people are suffering every day because they cannot afford basics, where they don't have access to basic healthcare, education, etc. They are completely priced out of a good life in Gambia. So right now, Gambia Reform Crisis needs a movement. But that movement has to embody good politics that can bring good policies to make Gambia sustainable. When you repeat the same thing, what will happen is another party would take over, and when they take over, because an entire politics was done with arguments and defante and personality politics and trying to caricature each other, they come without a plan and they fall in the same crisis. So Gambia right now, you know, crisis of cost of living, but we also have a crisis in the way we do politics. So that's why in the UMC, we are starting from a bottom-up approach. Let's bring about good politics. On top of that good politics, let's have a movement for the people that makes Gambia accessible and affordable for everybody. And of course, affordability and the other issues affecting it, such as corruption, rampant corruption, because we are adding to the inflation of goods. You know, and so the UMC, I believe, has come at the right time. And we are open. We want entities to come join us. We want political parties to come join us, youth groups to come join us, to build a formidable front to change this country for the better, and hopefully the last time.
Now, if elected president, what would you do differently in these areas, in governance, fight against corruption, cost price, how do you call it? Price of commodities. These are major issues.
So we'll come back because I'm not yet a candidate, technically.
When you are candidate.
Right, so we'll come back and we will bring our proposals by our candidate on exactly how we intend to tackle every problem we see is keeping Gambia back and making our people suffer. But I would ask that we make that another interview.
Another interview. Right. Now, the young people, you are actually happy belated birthday. You turned 39 yesterday.
39.
Wow, that's if you become candidate, you will be the youngest candidate to run for office in president. Did we have anybody below 39?
President Jawara.
Jawara was what? 30 something. He was younger than
30. I think he was 40.
Oh. He was 40. You'll be 40 actually next year, so it should be around that time, but still very young. In our own time, you might be the youngest, right? Now, the young people, like you said, a lot of them have embraced your coming into politics.
Right.
I think they see a lot of the Sonko Jomai in you, because that's what is happening in the sub-region, in Senegal, in Burkina Faso, in Mali, you know, all these areas, because now we have seen a lot of young people getting into politics and they're making impact. Now, why do you think the young people want so much, they are hungry for change? Why do they want younger leadership? Some people will tell you, all our leaders are young. When Jammeh was taking over, he was what, 40 or 40 something. Barrow was also not very old. Jawara, when he was taking over, he was young. Now, 60 years into independence, we still are struggling with basic stuff in this country. Why should we trust another young leader to take us and believe that he will take us to the promised land?
Well, the struggle of Gambia is not based on the age of the leader.
Okay.
I don't think age is a factor. Old age comes with benefits, young age comes with benefits. But what's more important is the character of the individual.
Okay.
If I became president at 40, yes, I'd be one of the youngest leaders. I think I'd be the youngest leader in Africa, because Jammeh holds that title.
Yeah.
But I'd be the most experienced and tested leader in Gambian politics. Because most experienced and tested leader
in Gambian politics.
In Gambian politics, if I became president. Right. I'd be the president who was a two-term mayor, through and through, had experienced both a mayor with the incumbent and a mayor in opposition. I was also a leader who has gone through the trials and tribulations of fighting with government, where I'm scrutinized over and over and over again, and nobody could find anything on me. And secondly, I still have that energy, that dynamism, that awareness of what's going on in the world and the global trends and the future we could potentially build if we leverage on the new technologies, etc. So I believe I would be in the perfect position to be potentially the most impactful leader that Gambia has ever had. But I mean, everybody has their different arguments. But I definitely think age is a number. No leader should be castigated because they're old or they're young. It's a matter of character. Just like nobody should be castigated for being a member of a particular tribe. That does not determine your ability as a human being. I think your ability as a human being is your trials and tribulations of life, your experiences you gained, the test you have overcome is a character issue and is not an identity issue.
Your critics say you are not that experienced, but the people that surround you are also not experienced. In fact, to quote the Minister of Information yesterday on Senegalese media said, I'm not going to do politics. I'm not going to si region boo xam ne Géejawaay sax moo ko gën a rëy mu ne dafa bëgg a dugg nguur, but they have no experience. The people ñu ko surround amuñ experience. They don't know the complexities of the sub-region. Mu ne tey na di ngeen foye diggante Gambia ak Sénégal te loolu lu am solo la, and it's going to be a security, let's say, threat for the sub-region and the Sahel. What is your response? And a lot of people, the minister said this, but a lot of people also said, you guys are not experienced, you don't have experienced people around you. What would you respond to those critics?
Well, I think the minister has embarrassed the Gambia. Senegal is a competitor to the Gambia. As much as they are our family and friends and neighbors, they are competitors. I think going to Senegal and almost trying to pitch to them pour ñu bugala as if ñoom ñoo la sanil karta is sad. Tey government bi nelaw nañ be port of Dubai or Dubai World ñu dee sampa port. Instead of ñu sampa deep sea port in Gambia ñu ko dem sampa Senegal. $1 billion of investment that I am aware should have been coming to Gambia when they yóbbu nañ ko Senegal. And I remember, so I think one of the ministers said, how ma Macky moo ñaan Barrow pour mu def port bi foofu. Can you imagine? Now Senegal has 4 ports surrounding Gambia, and these are competitors. Now all Gambian traffic is going through Senegal. Senegal has a world standard airport. When I came from South Africa, I stopped in Kinshasa, I stopped in Togo, I stopped in Accra, I stopped in Freetown before I arrived in Gambia. I'm going to sky more the gele of airplanes. One day, every airport I stopped to was world standard. Gambia rek mo nuru nek mi ngi melni pukus, so all the air traffic now, if you want a direct flight to America, you go through Senegal unless nga bëgg spend 2 days in the air. So Senegal is a competitor. Tey so xolé Trans-Gambia Bridge gaay ñi ngay jël dalasi, they're paying dalasi, putting pressure on the dalasi instead of paying CFA. Moy Senegalese transporters. So ñom what they need to understand is Senegal is brother to Gambia, is family to Gambia. We have strategic relationships. We have things that we can complement each other on. But there are certain things where they are competitors, especially on business. And we should act like it. So, I don't even think right now we are the people they should be talking about. We are a movement. We are not even a political party. We are barely 1 month old. I mean, if you go to Senegal, I think you're on their platform. You should be talking about contentious issues that Gambia has with Senegal, such as when Gambians are going to Dakar, being stopped 20 times and being asked for ID cards, with ECOWAS treaties in place, especially with the Senegambia relationship. Why should Gambians be harassed before they reach to Dakar? These are the things they should be putting in place. They should transport in Senegal. They are harassed on the way, asked to stop several times. So these are the barriers Lugay or Guinea. Tay, Senegalese army Mumfi. Of course, Senegal and Gambia will always have a security relationship. We should always strategize on our sub-regional security and Senegambia security. But by no means should we allow our sovereignty to completely disappear, where Gambian soldiers have no rights or have no ability to secure their own country, where Senegal has been securing our country for the past 10 years. I mean, so if we lack knowledge, we can ask them to train us. So if we lack equipment, we can ask them to help us with equipment. But by no means should the Senegalese security continue to man checkpoints and continue to secure sensitive sites such as the State House, the highest office in the land, while Gambian soldiers are here. So Mambundeme Senegal, I think he had very important issues to discuss rather than Mbalit in KMC and a mayor in KMC. I think it was a national embarrassment. I mean, I'm not somebody to confront anybody in politics because it's a waste of time. But I felt this particular minister had a platform to discuss very pertinent, important issues to the Senegalese public that is affecting our economy, that is affecting our citizens, rather than them fufununu, di wax Senegalese audience about their political rivals in Gambia, as if ñu dañoo sànni karta fi. Ndax loolu mooy seen plan. Xëy na dañ jox ñu karta. I don't know. With the immigration thing, maybe.
Maybe. Kon loolu moo tax ñu bari ñu ne no single candidate can win the incumbent. A lot of Gambians believe, obviously tam gis nañ ko sa press surveys yi ne Gambians believe ne foog ñu am a formidable coalition pour ñu mun a génne incumbent bi. What is your opinion on that? Are you open to joining forces with other political parties if the need be?
I think there's always a for sure path when you partner, when you build coalitions. The incumbent, remember, is not one party. One-time coalition.
Coalition, yeah.
Right. So Gambia, with the simple majority way of doing politics, you can win with 35%.
Yes.
So it's always smart to make partners. It's always smart to build coalitions. And by all means, I think it should be encouraged, and that conversation should continue. One-time coalition should be built right, and should be built based on values and principles. You have to be aligned in your views. Wow, when the coalition so called defe pour gagner nit rek ku dem loko replaceal dugen da ngeen di dugal fofu ngeen jotté ngeen xulo, because from the start amulen the same viewpoints. So I think coalition building, though important, should not be rushed, and it's a step-by-step process. And then you want to make sure all parties, all partners have the same views, and it has to be selfless. So you do a coalition, you want a Marco lead.
Yeah.
Coalition do muna am.
Do muna am. And you're open to that, the government do those preconditions?
No, I never. If I ever decided to go into a coalition with anybody, well, let me say UMC. If UMC ever decided to go into a coalition with anybody, I think I would advocate within UMC, look, let's just make sure we are aligned in values and principles, and there's a roadmap as to how we can build this coalition. I mean, of course, there can be a natural selection where a good candidate or the most popular candidate is selected through a process. I mean, 2016, I'm not sure it's the best example, but it's a good example. People somehow, some say they regret 2016. I don't regret it. Man, I think it was a good decision.
Yeah.
But I think moving forward, there are lessons to be learned, good and bad, where we can make that model better. But the president has a coalition.
Yes.
That's the point. It's not a single party.
It's a coalition.
So if you are planning to defeat that coalition, it is smarter and best to create a coalition.
13 months into election, how do you plan to win the hearts and minds of Gambians if you ever become the UMC candidate?
Well, I think we're already winning the hearts and minds of Gambians as UMC, as a platform. Like I said, I am not candidate yet. I do not believe that my personality should be the reason people should come to UMC. I believe UNC as a concept is something people should love and buy into. And we've seen that. It's growing every day. Every day is growing. Every day people are coming out and showing their love and support, home and abroad. So Manuma Gena surprise, we have a diaspora presence now in most continents and in most major countries. And Kero, we opened the GoFundMe. In 14 days, we reached our target. $10,250. Most are in the diaspora. They have credit card. Over 30 individuals donated towards that. I'm not being a diaspora and when may land. 2 days ago, I don't know whether Kemo put it on media yet. When they have new call me, dafa am land combo is may nañu ko pour ñu def bureau. Am na ku ñu jox kiram in Basse pour ñu def bureau. Barkati Demba amna ko donate, the diaspora of Bakau donated 500 t-shirts and 5 cartons of chicken to the Bakau UMC youth so they can conduct a meeting. I think yesterday somebody sent $1,000 for KMC to hold a youth meeting. I don't even know who that person is. So people have taken ownership. This was started and a few people you could initiate were the ones struggling to pay the bills. There's something. But now we've seen money and support is coming from everywhere, meaning people have already started loving and have bought into the concept of UMC. So we are not having trouble with convincing people to come on board.
Finally, a lot of people accuse you of giving money to buy their loyalty. How do you respond to that? What finance financial capacity do you have to buy all of them, including myself?
It's just terrible how people talk about politics. I certainly don't have that amount of money to buy Americans, British, university students, people who have businesses, or any human being. I don't think any human being can be bought. And if you're a fool in politics to think that you can give money to somebody to support you, then you don't know politics. And I've always said it. Politics trials come to like katan nga jaay concept ki nit ki mu gëm ko mu topala. So ko joxe xaalis bi jeex dafa delu fum nekkon. So kon naxé mu xam dëgg bi dafa delu fum nekkon. So the only sustainable way to do politics is to tell people the truth and convince them genuinely and not to force anybody. Bul hatal ken, bul condition ken. So man ñepp xam nañ ñuma dé conductors ma politics. I don't build animosity with anybody. I don't have any enemies in politics. Man, I'm in this for nation building. So toge tele nga ma has sa gemeñ bi ngay wowlo rek wante man duma la faale because that's lo taxut ma juk. Wow. So at the end of the day, when people say ki dafa jina ki kala dafa jina ki, they just try to do as much as possible to see lan moy stick. Many narratives you said ban moy stick. That's all. One day certainly I don't have that capacity to buy anybody, and I certainly don't have the interest.
Finally, politics of saga bi ak xiccio wante bi on social media. You keep saying it, and I watched came yesterday on iAfrica tam mu ngi reiterate loolu di wax ne da ngeen bëgg politics boo xam ne dafa decent.
Yeah.
Personally, I think a lot of us agree that you are not that person who is confrontational. Right. But to be honest, also you was your Hamlet Tamit, they are really confrontational, and sometimes they can be really, really confrontational out there. What is your message to the many UMC supporters and those who are coming and those that will come? What will be the message?
So people are debated differently. My mom, I'm always reminded Lutah Majuk, and I'm always unfazed. Man, I have that character where I can always maintain my focus. And I'm going to compartmentalize. Man, no, somehow here there right now, in 1 minute, and I always remember one thing, and I urge you, how many reading a section, Bubu, Talib's thick skin.
Yeah, this is not
and I would urge every member of the UMC to go to that section.
Yeah.
Not to study about me or anything, but there's certain things I said there that I think they can benefit from. And one of them, Monica, could talk, amulen ben problem, musulina am ben jar jar, mu talk, dila has banya bay, nga hamne koku, dafa am insecurity. And maybe you represent something that he can never be or she can never be, mota du de muna bay sa affaire. So you live in their mind rent free. So koku mo sona, yo sonolo, because end of the day, ko hat, ko mer, muy tobantu fu nekk di wax sa affaire mi nga use energy mi nga use time mi nga use effort ba pare mi nga wax sa tur yow waxuloo turam. So he's making you relevant or she's making you relevant. So what I said in that chapter is when people continuously attack and talk about you, it's not about you. It speaks more about them than about you. So it's a deep insecurity they are suffering from every time they look at you. And they are reminded that they can never be you. And mota guy di sona di chono. So my message for UMC people is li tax mu jóg moy dëkk bi. So I hasante caricature. If you're doing it, you're already breaking the UMC code. But I've sent audios to even some of them and said, look, I know it's painful sometimes. Nit tog rek sagala, hasla, oyela tour, attack your integrity. Nit na. But remember, always calm down, never act in the moment. And so talking halat, diga kilumowa, you even laugh and you forget about it. So Lumbuga remind everybody, integrity. Always remember that. That's the most important word in the unite phrases, integrity. Always maintain your dignity. In the face of war, in the face of peace, in the face of tension, always remember that you are a dignified person and you are truly trying to change this country, and that makes you courageous. One day, anybody trying to drag you outside of that, daflaje ma distract Allah. So that's my message to them.
Are you one of the party leaders or leaders you am Hajjen Kerr? You don't make a check. Baramune am the leaders who very am Hajjen Kerr. You put it. What's on the other hand? Where are the poor guys say that? So would somebody come to your house and you have bulldogs?
The way you practice your politics is the way you're going to behave when you get there.
Yeah.
So if you politics si toñante, si hasante, si caricaturante, this will make a president all jotai, and you're gonna repeat the same things.
Yeah.
So one thing I said, President Baranyum ok bes bobu nonu. You badi ñi ñew fofu ñi hif.
Yeah.
Ñeneen ñi am medical issues.
Yeah.
Ñeneen ñi seen doom yi ñu ngi leen return back way. Ñeneen mënu ñoo fay school fees. Ñeneen seen dëkkay amul ndox. Courant baa ngi off. Ñeneen ñi ngi am maternal problems. So people are coming there. Gambia ñëpp ñoo am metit. Everybody is suffering, especially those groups in the rural area. So the privilege or the honor of sitting with a head of state in his private home, I think waroon nañoo dégg lu bari. Lu leen di njëriñ gannaaw kii dafa am xaj karam. Kale la def ak talent. So anyway, moo tax ñun ñëwoon si daal ñun duñ def loolu ñun duñ oo kenn suñ kër di caricature keneen.
Thank you very much Moyo. Waxtu bi jeex na fu mu ni sa gaay ma signal rek ñu ma signal waxtu bi jeex na. Xam naa ne ñu bari ñu ngi seetaan. I want to thank Bakutu ak ñëpp ñu ñoo yónnee stars.
Thank you. Bakutu ñu ngi ko nuyu bu baax.
Bakutu ñoom Kasa ñoom Binet. I see a lot of them here they watching.
Binet Kasa.
Madam Trouble. You say it here. But thank you. So final message today. So many Gambians will have seetan. Final message.
My message has always been the same. What I've always advocated for, you have politics of decency, and look at all my videos in the past. Don't discuss tribalism, let's discuss issues. You buy the hard nini, then compete on ideas and concepts. You muna use in Dekabikanam. And I urge everybody, if you are not joining UMC, at least read about it. I think you'll find some things that are beneficial about it. All we want is for all like-minded Gambians who believe in the Gambia Municipal, Gambia needs desperate and urgent change for the better to come and join hands to make that change happen. So thank you so much, Fatou.
And thank you for giving us this first interview after a long time. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And of course to the UMC media and PR team, thank you very much for coordinating it. And to you all watching, thank you very much. Good night to you all. See you. We will be on YouTube in the next few minutes for this interview. Thank you very much. Good night to you all. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Ja Oil ñoom ñoo jiitu si wàllum jaay essence si biir réew mi te ñu def ko warugal pour kontaan loo suñu client yi borom moto yi ak driver yi seen jaaxare jeex na léegi pour am essence bu baax ak njëg bu yomba lii sax moo tax ñu amal leen banxaas fépp si biir réew mi pour essence bu baax bu set benn place rek la muy Ja Oil soo soxlae essence bu set essence bu baax gasoil wala kérosine naa la wax ne Ja Oil rek mooy jëmukaay ga doxantul rek si bépp banxaasi Ja Oil nga am si bànneex ak Ja Oil seen bànneex mooy suñ taxawaay moo tax ñu amoon leen banxaas bépp si biir réew mi nim gën a yombee pour yow ak suñ liggéeykat yu xarañ yi naa la won ne mbégte rek nga see jël pour am essence bu baax pour say machine fenn place rek la mooy sa Ja Oil ak Ja Oil bànneex kese la moo tax sax suñ station si nekk ca Costa Road ak Banjul wàññil nañ leen njëgi essence bi foofu noonu pour am si lu leer mun ngaa call si 770-8080 322-9070 714-7273 wala 787-1321 Ja Oil, the pride of the nation.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by years, we have paid over $1.6 billion to our shareholders, which translates to a whopping $20 per share and counting. Phenomenal returns for our shareholders who purchased at $1.50. Corporate taxes, over $1 billion is paid. Our journey started with a vision to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always